What's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video here to cover the Steam Winter Sale. Once again, I have a bunch of historic low game prices to go over. Now, this is a wide range of price points. Got the links in the description box below so you can see all of the games, but we're talking games as low as $5 all the way up to $30+. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. Obviously, these aren't all of the historical lows, and there's a lot more. I tried to mention the newer games and the ones that I haven't mentioned in previous videos. I've done so much content, so some of it is a little bit of a blur, as I'm sure you guys can imagine. But yeah, seems like you guys have been enjoying the coverage, and we still got like another week of the winter sale, so check all that out, and yeah, let's get right into it, and let's kick things off with S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. It is 40% off for $35.99. Now, they recently put out the Stories Untold content update, which they added like 5 hours of new gameplay. From what I know, I haven't jumped back into the game. I played S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 literally when it came out, and there was a lot of complaints about the performance issues. As I've always said, performance issues in PC games can be a little bit of a Russian roulette situation where it is so unpredictable because, first of all, people have different expectations as to what they consider to be acceptable performance and not acceptable performance, and then there are just issues like crashes and whatnot where people with much better hardware than me weren't able to run this game without crashing all the time, and then I actually had a reasonably decent experience with this game. Was it perfect? No, but have I played worse PC ports? Absolutely. Or PC versions? Absolutely. Like, my experience with this game was nowhere near the level of a Jedi Survivor, of The Last of Us Part 1, or a Marvel Spider-Man 2, at least at launch. And sometimes that's just the reality of when you play these games, but you do have the 2-hour window to refund the game if you don't want it, and from what I know, they have been consistently updating the game, making it better as far as optimization goes. I had a great time with the game. Like, I thought the atmosphere was great. I thought the story was fine for what it was, and yeah, had a good time with it. If you want that kind of open-world atmospheric adventure, I think you'll have a pretty good time with it, and it's a worthwhile game with a sizable amount of content. Now, there is like an Ultimate Edition with a lot of the additional content and season passes and things of that nature, which I'm not crazy about. The mod scene is also there for S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, but yeah, $36 on S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. If you want to wait for it to get cheaper, I understand that, but it is available now, and by the way, the game, I believe, did get pulled from Game Pass, so it's no longer available on there, which is a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Next up, we got Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, 50% off for $29.99. Loved Armored Core 6. Thought this was a great game, and as far as From Software games go, this was my favorite From Software game ever. Again, it's totally different than the Souls-like games, but gigantic robots. Like, if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know that I'm a huge mech guy. You know I love Gundam. You know I've been calling for more big-budget mecha action games, and we finally got one in Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Armored Core coming back, and I thought it was a great game. The customizability in the game was great. Made you feel like a badass, and also the trial and error with this game I thought was really well done in terms of utilizing the correct parts and whatnot and getting through the game. I had a great time with the game, and I just hope I get it. FromSoft's bread and butter is going to be in the Souls-like experiences, but I do hope that every now and again they'll circle and do an Armored Core title, and they'll keep this franchise alive, because I believe before Armored Core 6, it was Armored Core 5 Verdict Day in like 2013 or 2014, something like that. It was a while before Armored Core made a comeback, but happy to see it. $29.99 on that. Look, if you want giant robo action, I think you'll end up enjoying that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is 50% off for $29.99. The Royal Edition with all of the DLC is $39.99. The DLC isn't something you have to get, so if you want to get the base game, you can just get that. KCD2 is a game that I've talked about quite a lot. I think the people that get into KCD2, it will literally be one of their favorite games of all time, and I think some people will just get pushed away from the combat. The combat is the one make or break for a lot. It's not even what makes this game, to be honest. I don't think a lot of people look at KCD2 and are like, oh my god, the combat is so great in KCD2. I just don't think that's the case. I think everybody can kind of come to the conclusion of, yeah, the combat is going to be that dividing element, and even the people that really like KCD2, I don't think the combat is going to be what makes them really like the game, and I do think that is the one inherent issue with the game, that I know personally multiple people that have dropped this game because of the combat. However, narratively, the options in the game, world design, I think are incredibly well done, and the more hours you invest in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the more rewarding it is, the better your character becomes, and it is what is really a role-playing game. If we want to talk about the best RPGs of 2025, KCD2 should absolutely be that. One of the best RPGs, if not the best RPG, and if we want to talk about, you know, if I look at all the games that I played in 2025 and what is the best RPG, remember, role-playing game, that is KCD2 in terms of how it is designed as an RPG. I think the game is incredible in that regard, and for $29.99, I think it is a solid pickup. It's a game that you can easily spend over 100 hours on, and there's replayability. I mean, there's an achievement in this game where you literally have to be a vegan, which, that just sounds disastrous, but I'll never go for that achievement. But nevertheless, $29.99 on KCD2. Next up, we got Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Now, this is one of those games that if you want to pick it up, you probably should be caught up with all the Like a Dragon games or played the majority of them. I love Majima as a character, so seeing him at the helm of a Yakuza title outside of Yakuza 0, I obviously really dug that. A return to the action beat-em-up style of gameplay, and I know we had that with the man who erased his name, but having Majima at the helm, having that naval combat, which I thought was so over-the-top and crazy, I had a great time with this game. Is it more of the same in a lot of regards? Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. You don't gotta fix what isn't broken, and Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza embodies that once again. Would I spend $60 on it? Probably not, but for $24, I think it's a great pickup. So, yeah, definitely give that a shot. Monster Hunter Rise might be the best deal in this entire winter sale, and I haven't given this a real mention yet. $9.59 for Monster Hunter Rise with Sunbreak. The base game is $7.99. I would just get Sunbreak as well because that deal is ridiculous. You get the expansion, you get the base game. Monster Hunter does take the Insanity to Monster Hunter up a level, and I think a lot of people will end up enjoying it. You know, it's a gameplay loop that might not be for everyone. I tend to have fun with Monster Hunter games, but they're not games that I invest an absurd amount of hours into. Like, I know people that play Monster Hunter year-round or spend well over 100, 150 hours into it. I never go into Monster Hunter like that, or with that intention, or with that expectation even, and I think that's what led to some people being disappointed by Wilds. But yeah, $7.99 for the base game, $9.59 with Sunbreak. Definitely get Sunbreak as well. That's just a fantastic deal. So certainly check that out. Next up, we got Dying Light 2 Stay Human Reloaded Edition, $17.99 on this. This does have the Bloody Ties DLC baked into it. I like Dying Light 2 a lot. I know that a lot of people had it at a lower level than Dying Light 1. I definitely agree with that. I thought Dying Light 1 was the better game. However, Dying Light 2 still offered a lot to like. I love the verticality on the game, and the parkour gameplay is great. I think if you took Dying Light and literally just focused on the parkour gameplay and no combat, you could make a pretty compelling game out of that. But yeah, the combat is fun as well, and there's a lot of creativity to it, and I think you can have a lot of fun with it. It's a fun open world action title. Narratively, I do think they kind of fumble it in the second half of the game, but still overall a quality title there for $17.99. Lords of the Fallen is 50% off for $14.99. Look, I've been a defender of Lords of the Fallen for a while now, and I always say, whenever it comes to me talking about Souls-like game, take my opinion somewhat with a grain of salt, but I love the atmosphere and the ambiance to Lords of the Fallen. I thought it was great in that regard. Obviously, when the game came out, it was a literal atrocity of a PC version. No excuses on that. It has gotten better, and CI Games has done a pretty good job in updating the game and rolling out new content. And guess what? Lords of the Fallen 2 is scheduled to come out next year. Shout out for the 3-year development cycle of games. I mean, I always like to see that out of games these days when we got 7-8-year development cycles for some of these titles. So, you know, 3 years is a good turnaround time, and I thought they did a pretty good job with Lords of the Fallen. Again, it's not going to be at the level of the FromSoft games, but I like the realms mechanic. I know some people were down on some of the puzzles being tied to that and whatnot, but overall, I think this is a quality game to go through. Not at $60, but at $14.99 if you're into Souls-like titles, one to check out. Unfortunately, the sequel will be an EGS exclusive, so I think that'll definitely limit how many people are going to check it out on PC. That goes without saying, but it is what it is. Next up, we have The Medium, 70% off for $14.99, done by one Bloober team, and I've talked up Bloober team quite a lot on this channel with Chronos the New Dawn. The Medium is a game that I talked up as well when it came out. I thought it was a great playthrough with Game Pass back in the day. I don't believe believe it's on Game Pass anymore, but The Medium was a worthwhile game. I thought it was a really, really well done horror title, and this is another one. It really emphasizes that psychological horror aspect, and you have these different realities element to it as well. I thought it was a well done game. Didn't get a lot of attention, but one to check out for sure if you're in a horror game. Very much tying into that psychological aspect, but for 15 bucks, pretty good there. Senua Saga Hellblade 2, 75% off for $12.49. Look, this is such a sizable discount that I thought I had to mention this. I know a lot of people view this as very much a walking sim. This game is incredible from a visual standpoint. It's just $50 is way too much for this game. $12.49, a more palatable pickup, and if you enjoy the atmosphere of Hellblade 1, I think you will enjoy Hellblade 2. And at $12.49, I think this is the perfect price point, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Hogwarts Legacy is $5.99, 90% off. That's just an absolutely insane deal given what you're getting there, so I would definitely recommend that for Hogwarts Legacy. That's just ridiculous for $6. I've talked about this game ad nauseum. Some of you guys got it for free on EGS, but a great pickup there. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, 63% off for $14.79. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is actually one of my most anticipated games of 2026. I think that game is shaping up quite nicely. Keep your expectations in line with Stories 2. It was initially a Nintendo Switch exclusive, so technically speaking, it's not going to be blowaway. I don't remember if it was a Switch exclusive or if it came out day one on a PC, but bear in mind that it was designed for the Switch in mind, so just keep that in mind. The visuals aren't going to be blowaway, but for a game like this, a charming RPG, you don't need the greatest visuals in the world, and I think the art style is great, so $14.79 on that. Divinity Original Sin 2 is 75% off for $11.24, but you want to get Divinity Original Sin the Source Saga. That includes Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition and Divinity Original Sin 2. Both of those 82% off for $10.66. That is a great buy for that, getting both titles. Divinity is an incredibly well done RPG with a lot of depth to it, and obviously Larian Studios has a lot of buzz. Their next title is going to be a Divinity game, so that's going to be huge, and yeah, go back and check out Divinity Original Sin 2 at this price point. You can't go wrong. The Larian games aren't really my cup of tea, but I get why people really like them, and I'm gonna try to get more into them. I gotta give Baldur's Gate 3 another shot to really sit down and sink my teeth into it, but yeah, just not my cup of tea, but, you know, that's fine. Not every game's gonna be for me, and that's totally okay. Next up, we have Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, 92% off for $4.79. I mentioned this ad nauseum as well. Ace Combat 8 is coming out next year. That game is shaping up quite nicely, but Ace Combat 7, an over-the-top action flight title, and you don't get a lot of games like this, so I thought Ace Combat was quite well done. The soundtrack in this game is an absolute banger as well, so highly recommended from that regard as well. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, 90% off for $4.99. This game was done by TT Games, who are doing the hotly anticipated Lego Batman and the Dark Knight Saga. That game looks awesome, but I really enjoyed Skywalker Saga as well. I thought it was a well-done game with a lot of charm. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but man, I think the Lego Star Wars games are always a pretty good time, and $5 for this is a great pickup. And then lastly, we do have Nioh Complete Edition, Nioh 3 coming out next year, so I think timely to recommend this. Nioh is brutal. It is a brutally difficult game that I think takes the From Software difficulty to another level. I think this game's honestly infuriating, but, you know, some people are into that. Your boy is not one of them. Your boy is playing games like First Berserker on easy difficulty, so I thought I would just mention this, but I ain't gonna be like, oh, yeah, it's so challenging and rewarding. I love the difficulty. No, I did not love the difficulty in Nioh. I thought it was outrageous, but nonetheless, maybe you guys will fare differently. That is certainly possible. $4.99 on that. You can check that out as well. That'll do it for me. Again, links to all of these in the description box below as always, and a lot of great deals as a part of the winter sale. Check them out for yourself. That'll do it for me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.